Hello, everybody, and welcome to your Thursday lighting critique. We have one video and then some stills to go through. We have Kat's the beginnings of her Hotel California setup. You're doing this in Unreal, yeah. So we're kind of talking through a little bit of like what the lighting setup is going to be. We've got you've added a sphere in there, which is nice to represent the location of a person, which is going to be.
There's also a little cylinder. If you see it,
Yeah.
but it's more diffused by the pillow.
Got it. It's actually interesting because I did not see the cylinder, so it's one of those things that you're kind of like, I wonder if, and you know what, a lot of it is we're not getting the warmth of the light from the lamps around them on them, like it's all just kind of cool light on them. So it'd be kind of cool to get some more of the warmth from the lamp on them, because it's all just kind of like the green blues. Let's see. So we really want like this part of the frame to really be our focus in this particular shot, right?
Yeah. I think I might need to, I don't know, I need to fix a couple things. I'm still playing around with how all the lights work.
And to be clear with everyone, she's just like learning Unreal. This is a huge amount of progress in a short period of time. You'll see it too with Aaron and Ashley's. It's really impressive what you guys have been able to accomplish in such a short period of time.
I think if I change, what I was trying to do, where it was kind of killing me was I was trying to still give it sort of that evening vibe. So I changed what they call the skylight to put out more bluish light instead of white light. If I change it to put out more like white or warm light, I can recapture the scene and it'll make it have more of that warm bounce to it.
I'm fine with the amount of cool light that's in there. It's really about.
It just needs to be a bit more like centered.
Yeah, just no, like
okay.
Because what this light is contributing is totally fine. Like it's fine that there's some coolness on them. It's just that these hot spots that are coming in like right here, and then the stuff that's hitting right here, should match the color of this light a little bit more. So so that's really all it is. Is like it's fine if there's some coolness in the central area. But yeah, but you want that warmth from the sides. The other thing is behind camera. Is there a wall? Like, is this a closed room?
No, there's not a wall yet. I need to put a wall there.
That's fine, because that'll actually matter if it's a sky dome, because that's like all over the place. And if there's not a wall there, it's like there'll be more overall light and more of that cool light coming in there. So
I'll put a wall back there.
Yeah, just something to be aware.
Okay.
I mean, like it's totally fine. Like I'll do that a lot where I'll leave. I'll find that leaving it like a studio set piece with an open wall will actually allow me to get some more like fill light in there in a believable way, as if there were a window on this side. Although in a hotel room it doesn't really work out that way, because the other side is always a hallway, and then there's never mind. That may not. Yeah, so probably just throw that on. The one thing I do like that's really cool and surprising is the like us entering the God rays, because it's just like to me this would be like one of those like happy little accident things. Like I'd be like, I'm just gonna throw some God rays in there, and then when the camera moves along, you kind of pick them up. You don't. So like I would be like, and so basically I would just want to read them a little more here at the beginning, and so that when it makes more sense when we enter them a little bit. But it's cool. It makes it like it just makes what right now is just like an environment a little more dynamic, which is cool.
If you look at my screenshots, they look a little different because I did some tweaking. So I have a question for you. So the wall on the screen right in this video, does it look too flat versus the screenshot where I made it be a bit more shadowed?
Which wall?
The wall to the screen right. So the wall that the picture's on.
Yeah.
Because it felt like to me like it was too flat.
Let's see what the stills look like here.
And the screenshots. If you load up the screenshots I posted too, they're a little different. See how I made it?
Yeah, that's much better.
And that kind of makes the bed stand out more too.
Yeah, the one thing I'm surprised is this. Although this might be different wallpaper than what we saw previously, was that like because I thought it was in the examples that you gave, the wallpaper had like kind of a like the pattern had a different specular value than the white base or something, and basically
I might have to tweak the values. I think it was shinier in the demo stuff that they put up about the modular thing. So yeah, it doesn't have a lot of spec value. I'll have to see what the deal is on that.
Yeah, because right now it's because it's not really about the amount; it's about the variation between the two. Because it goes really cool.
Right.
Because like in these shadow areas, when you're getting some glancing angles of light kind of scraping down the wall, if it can hit those the different specular values in a couple different places, that would be really cool.
Yeah, I'll dig into the material.
Yeah, you talked
the
about
roughness.
Light bleed, so you can take a look at that.
Yeah, I found out what that was. It wasn't light bleed. It was the one of the lights was hitting it wonky.
Got it. It's funny. This little pool of light right here, is that from this?
Well, it's actually a little point light I put underneath it, only because that table's actually supposed to be a glass table, and when I first started messing with it, it wasn't letting light through really well, so it looked too dark. So I put a little point light on the bottom to try to mess with it and give it a bit of make it look like light's going through it.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why that's there.
So. Yeah, I would take that out because it does feel like it's it almost, what I first read it as is like, oh, that lamp is on, and then I look at the lamp itself and it's like, oh no, it isn't. So it was kind of a confusing read. So, but yeah,
okay,
cool. You feeling good? You learn a lot.
Yeah. It's a challenge.
Like I said, you guys, and then we have actually I'll hop to those next. We've got Aaron and Ashley. Oh, you guys are alphabetically next, so that works out well. You all too are learning Unreal for the first time and implementing your first projects, and it's like I said, it's a testament to you all of being able to tackle something new, which is scary and hard. But obviously, if you're here, you're good at doing that, and it's really cool. So, Aaron, so we've got your reference here. Let's take these out. Okay, so we've got some reference, lots of warm light, lots of the spec bouncing off the street. We got some extra assets? Question mark. Cool sword? Question mark.
I might put Tifa with the sword in there. I'm not sure. Like,
got it.
It depends on it's like everything I do is get on Google. How do I do this? How do I do this?
Yeah.
It's just taking an absorbent amount of time.
No, that's honestly like the really hard part about learning something new is that it can be exhausting, and it's like all these things, especially if you know how to do it in another software that became like so second nature to you. It's really hard to like shift gears and like be like, wait, how do I adjust the shadows? Wait, how do I like? Oh man, come on! Like this should be so easy, and you have to like, it takes a little while to get in the flow, and there's kind of two things that I've noticed that happens. Like as you learn Maya and then you learn Nuke, you gain confidence that you can do this. But as you kind of this can happen too. As you gain expertise in one area, learning something new can become more frustrating because you're like, it's really easy to just fall back to doing it the way that you've always done it because you know it and you're confident and you're not insecure. Also, learning new things is just exhausting. The example I read in a book once was talking about when you're learning to drive a car. And when you're first learning, like when you're backing out of your driveway is like a nerve-wracking thing, or tracking, like parallel parking or whatever you do, and you're so focused on it, and it's just like it stops all your energy. But after you do it for a while, it kind of becomes second nature and it becomes very easy. So it's like learning new things is a really, really energy-sucking process. So that's a long way around it. But to get into your image, Aaron, we've got a lot of these are like a culmination of lots of little lights kind of creating a larger lighting scene, which I think we've got going on here. And I think it's really nice. I think the setup is really, really good. I love the idea of like all this kind of warmth being in here in the foreground and kind of getting us to draw it in here, and then the rest of it's kind of cooler. I think that it just like aesthetic notes. I think like the shadows are like, I think we should work towards softness in a lot of ways. Like a lot of what we're seeing here, like there's just a lot of softness overall. Like all the shadows are very soft. So I don't think that we necessarily need to see like the hard shadows and stuff down in here. I think we're gonna let that kind of soften out a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, it'll be interesting because like I don't disagree. There's so for me the biggest problem with Unreal is it has all these rules about if a character is going to interact with it, and I feel like one of the rules is that like so like if a character were to walk up to, well, no, because then they would just be, dude, I don't know, like there's just all these different rules. So for me, it's like I was trying to bake this out. I'm trying to solve a problem where these lights I cannot get baked onto the texture, which means they have to be either a stationary light or they have to be a movable light, which means they have hard shadows. If I can get them to be a static light without turning off at the render, then I can soften them up as whatever I want. So like, yeah, it's this technical crap of like, dude, why doesn't this just like, lighting has been around for 30 plus years. Why does it not act the freaking same as some other piece of software?
Game engines, man. They treat it differently for a while, and like it's gonna come together, but there is still definitely a gap between the way that one does it and the way that another does.
Yeah, but yeah, I agree. Like if I can soften those shadows, like I'd be ecstatic.
Yeah. The other thing is I think we can elongate these shadows back here. I think the moon's at a low enough position where we can kind of, because like a lot of these makes it feel like the moon's much higher up in the sky and kind of shining downward. And I think what that'll do is create more dark areas in the back that'll allow us to focus in a little bit here.
Okay.
And I would like to see.
Hey, Ellen? Oh, sorry. Yeah, just check your distance if you're doing distance field ambient occlusion, or the sky atmosphere settings. You can tweak a lot of stuff in there to make the shadows look different.
Okay. Yeah, we'll talk. I don't like a short thing. We'll talk actually later and try to solve that. I was going to reach out to you anyway, so.
Yeah. Okay. Just heads up.
Yeah. Cool.
Yeah, and then I just want to see a little bit more of I love the lantern light. I think that's really pretty, and I think that spilling some more of that pink reddish color around would be cool.
Okay.
Yeah. But I would start there. Like I said, I know that it's just really impressive what you guys are doing. And learning this stuff so quickly, and I know I can hear it in your voice, that frustration level. But like it'll get better. You got this. It's just like it's not going to be easy out of the gate. Like I can say this personally because I've gone to learn Unreal like 2 or 3 times and been distracted. Like I'm doing it right now, so I haven't.
What's interesting, and I'll say for anybody who's learning Unreal, Epic provides some stuff, but it's not like they're providing like this massive amount. So like this set, I think I paid like $11 for it, but it was built by somebody it was just built by somebody. So you kind of throw in this extra variable where like with the AAA stuff, it's been checked. The UVs have been checked. Like the scene's been checked to make sure that there's not like going to be errors. I don't know what I've really paid for like $11. Yeah. Does this guy, does whoever built this, does this person know what they were doing?
It's a lot of that online, which is one of the reasons why we
and so like what I'm saying, like my static lights aren't rendering. It's like, was that my fault or is that someone who built the scene's fault? Like I don't know.
Who knows? I mean, like that's the thing about it is there's it's exhausting to know what is a genuine bug or an error, and what is user error. Because like early on, you just assume everything is like you just don't know what you're doing until you talk to someone who's like, oh no, the software actually doesn't do that, and you're like, oh, okay, cool, I guess. Yeah. You know, like for sure. It sucks, but it's like that's when you start to do it and you recognize that as part of the process, you're like, oh, I'm like, because you're able to kind of pull yourself out of yourself a little bit, and you're like, oh, I'm just in the part of the process where I think everything is my fault and I just don't know yet.
See, I'm the opposite. I'm blaming everyone. I'm like, no, this is someone else's problem. This should not be this way.
Yeah. Yeah,
I had a reality check.
This is y'all's fault. Y'all mess this up for me. That's it.
I had to have a reality check. I was like, well, it's only my second day. Maybe it is my fault. But okay, yeah, cool. Yeah, I'll have a new version.
Yeah, I would say like we'll just with you guys we'll just focus on a few things and to allow you to kind of like keep learning and keep exploring, because like I said, I know how difficult this stuff can be. Ashley, this is cool. let's take a look at your reference here. All right, so we got some interior cave stuff. We got a cenote, it looks like. And yeah, all right, so lots of, so again, here's like those hard shadows again. Yeah, but like in like this photograph, it's all like super soft. It actually looks like there's some interior light in here too, but like just reading the exterior light, it's all just like really soft and bouncing around. This one's pretty soft too. So I like the idea of softness kind of coming in, and you've got that look initially. I think the big thing is, man, look at these specular highlights in these shadows. Very cool, really well done, love it. Biggest thing is just getting some more bounce light from this area up in here, if possible. And again, like I'm saying this without having much knowledge of what Unreal can and cannot do. I think you've done a really great job of getting some softness around these edges. Yeah, so the two things would be trying to get more bounce light into these darker areas from the sunlight coming down. And number two is, I think we could probably get some more top-down light on the character. The character's lighting feels a little bit like it's coming in from the side, and it's just because everything else feels very vertical. And then when we get to her, like there's, like I can see the entirety of this ponytail, and I feel like the light would be kicked upward enough that it would be kind of shining, and like she would be more lit on top, like top of her shoulders, not all the way back. I do, but that might mess up the look of some of the other stuff, so it might just be a minor tweak there, or maybe just kicking over to the side a little bit. Basically, I just think that like her from everywhere from her waist up is a little flatly lit. And I think we can either go higher or to the side, or one of the sides a little bit more.
All right. Yeah, I'll try to do those things.
Yeah.
It's been interesting learning this program. And
Yeah. No, it's cool. Like these flames look great. Little, you got your glow game is on point. Everything's looking really good.
Cool.
Yeah.
All right.
Great.
Well, thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. All right, Clarissa. Got another one up here. Made some last minute tweaks to it. I'm putting my hands up in the air because I'm preparing to clap. And I wanted to see if anybody had any notes. I will wait. I'll count to 5 in my head, and then but in the meantime, if you guys don't have notes, make sure you get your hands ready. 3, 2. All right. Good job, Clarissa. This is amazing. This is really good. We want to get that print over to Kat. That's one of the most adorable conversations I've ever seen on our Discord server. So thank you. Like it honestly like. If it warmed my heart to read you guys talking about exchanging it and printing it out. I thought that was really, really great. So yay for that. All right.
I'll post a picture when I hang it on my wall.
Oh, please do. Please do. All right, Justin. I think this is looking really great. I love the color choice. Saturating the colors has helped a lot. I think the blues still feel a little like just like a touch electric. I think that by softening them, that's a lot, but just a little bit more will help us ease this in. I love the rim light that's happening on these trees back here. I like the kind of glow that's happening. I do think that we could get actually there's a little bit of wrap there on these trees here. I take that back. I think this is looking pretty good. Got the door. We got some stuff inside the windows. Yeah, I think all that's looking pretty good. This, it looks like there's some noise in the snow. Just make sure to check. You may have to turn off the coat. I think that was giving some people some problems. There's also a bit of a hard line shadow coming across here. You may just want to check into that. And soften that just a touch. It's not major. It's just like if you look really closely, you can see a minor bit of that. The only thing that I'm thinking is that the house itself, the light coming from the inside is intense and still a little bit uniform across the entirety of it. Like the house is just like glowing, and it doesn't. It almost feels like the glow of a fireplace, but it's so there's so much for it. It's like it makes me think the inside of the house might be on fire. So I'm wondering if maybe we should isolate the light a little bit more into pockets, like maybe just like a little bit more upstairs, like basically just kind of because everything else is so soft and so serene that I want the lighting from the house to kind of match that energy.
Now I kind of want to see a series of image stills where it's like from here and then some flames and then more flames and people running.
Catch it all on fire, burn it down.
Dad just wants to watch the world burn. That's right. But overall, I think this is looking really great. Does anybody else have any other thoughts other than let's pretend like we don't want to watch the world burn? Does anyone have any other thoughts?
The only thing I would say is the red in the frozen stuff. There's too much of it. I don't think it would be reflecting that brightly from that angle onto the ice.
Yeah, like it's interesting because like this color like matches what we're seeing up here, but then this one turns like more red.
I think it's just too intense though.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah. I'll turn that down a bit. Yeah, maybe just because there's a lot of depth of field here in the foreground, and maybe like 2 pixels of blur on the far background, just like a little bit. Try that. Good stuff, though. Man, it looks really good. All right, cool. So cats, we looked at yours there. All right, Mercy. And then Abishek will check for yours. All right, Mercy. So we've got the lovely library set. Bricks coming down there. Yeah, this is really, really, really beautiful reference images. Just like this soft, warm light. There's the more shadow shape in this one, more direct light, but just like loving all of the softness in both of these. You're definitely starting to get that in this region. It's looking really good. The darkness of the shadows in here kind of breaks that feeling a little bit. So I like kind of what we're seeing over here. It's a little bit flat, but I like that value. And I think that we can incorporate some of the because this is a strong light bouncing down, and I would imagine that some of this would kind of like really kind of bounce around the room a little bit and fill that in a bit more. Not quite to the degree of the greenhouse here, but you can see it here in this. So we've got light coming down and striking in here. Like there's a lot of value kind of shooting out from inside of there to really soften the scene. And we're only seeing true blacks in a couple of parts. And even here it's got a little bit of value, like right there, and then like right down here in the most immediate of the foreground. So I think it would be fine if like this plant and maybe something kind of over here got this level of darkness, but to have a large swath of it really visually makes an image feel heavy and really grounded. I love the light coming down from the top. Let's see.
Hey, Mike.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm just the specular reflections on the candle and the wine bottle. Are those coming from the wrong angle, or is it just because it looks like light's coming from screen left, but we don't see any light?
There's
I'm confused.
There's like a little bit of something coming in here. Yeah, no, totally. There's a little bit of something coming in here, but yeah.
Because if you look at the chandelier, it's not getting, but yeah.
You're right.
I'm confused.
Like that. Yeah. There's light coming.
Yeah, that's a really good point. I actually added a light on the screen left just to lift the table a little because I thought it was getting pretty dark. But that's a really good point.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, totally. The other thing I was thinking too was that overall the color I think might be it's a little yellow green, and so what I would push it a little bit more red value in there, maybe a little more of this magenta too, like something more like this to kind of give it a little bit more warmth. It's not quite on what the reference had, but I thought that would make it a little bit more of a warmer scene. And then the big thing too is this light coming down it is very narrow. It is like a very thin beam of light. And I'm wondering, I think if you opened it a little bit, I think we would still maintain the focus on this stuff in our main area, but it would allow a little bit more light. Like it would allow this light to kind of scrape across that bookcase a little bit more, and just like kind of start to spill into the rug here. Hit the couch a little bit, and hit some of the areas that are like, so they're not all, because like you kind of want to split them up so they're not all in fill or all in key if possible, like to have a little bit of variation to kind of break that up. The other thing to watch out for is the couch itself. I'm wondering if we might need to put some more like texture on there because it feels a little bit like flat. So maybe some of that. Yeah, and then we might have to do an ambient occlusion on these bookcases to get a little more darkness at the back of them too. But yeah, I think that's a good place to start. But it's got a good base to it. It's just a matter of tweaking some of this stuff.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah. All right, cool. I think Abishek had one more.
Yeah, I have uploaded.
Cool, perfect. Yeah, that smoke looks better. It's hard to tell the noise, but I think the amount of glow that you have on the chips looks a lot better. We'll see how this plays out. For some reason, this is feeling more sharp to me today, but I think that might be okay. Cards look better. Yeah, I think that's good. I think now it's just a matter of seeing the animation once it's done, and making sure that it's not too that the noise level and the specular highlights is toned down a little bit. But I think everything else looks good.
Yeah, actually, that jitter is only coming from only one light only, the dream light. I actually tried to do it on that single pass only.
Yeah, I mean, if you have, yeah, say if you have that on a, this is one of those times when like, if you ever rendered separately, you could go back and render that at a higher resolution. But I don't know if that's possible. One thing to watch out for, I just saw this too, the edge of the cards. It's like there's like a dark outline. I love that there's a little bit of wrap from the TV, but there's like a little bit of a black outline around it too. So you may just want to watch out for that.
Oh, okay.
All right, cool.
I think it might be a blur issue.
Okay. Yeah, it might just be
Still,
yeah.
I didn't get
But,
the
yeah.
proper ZD focus area, so I just do a little cheat.
Yeah,
I just make a manual match.
I'm sorry, you're kind
So-
of breaking up a little bit. I was able to follow it for a little while.
So-
Sorry.
First,
I'm sorry,
Run.
Abishek, you're kind of breaking up a little bit. If you can, if you can type it up to me in a DM, that would be great. All right, great. Is there anybody else have anything for today? Any other questions? Good on time. Yeah. Oh, I do have to hop. All right. You all have a wonderful rest of your day, and I will talk to you tomorrow. All right. Be good, guys. Happy lighting.
Bye.
Bye.